السلام عليكم. الصوت واضح؟ طيب great. Before I start تمام. Right, before I start, do we have non-Arabic speakers in the class? Okay, so we are going to start our first class today for the course M269. I will be, inshallah, your tutor for this course in this summer, Dr. Khalid Suez. Okay, I think some of your friends they are not able to hear me. Let us wait for some of them. Yes, but I think some of your colleagues, they have problem. They need to sign out and sign in again. So we just give them 1 minute. Yes, I'll start recording this class. Once I start, I'll start recording it. Okay, how about now? Still have noise? Type wait. Now should be better, I guess. Now still noise or better? Yes, I'm just waiting for your friends to settle their issues, their problem with the voice. Okay, no problem. Due to some issues sometimes with your speakers or with the connection, it might happen. Noise might happen sometimes. Okay, so let me start recording the class. Okay, so again, I would like to welcome all of you in our first class for M269, Algorithm, Data Structure, and Computability. And actually, I'll be your tutor for this summer. I'm Dr. Khalid Suez, for those who did not hear me in the beginning of the class. And this is actually one of the very important topics and subjects in computer science and information technology, which will focus on understanding how algorithm can be developed, how we can think for solving or to solve problems in different way, and if you have different solutions, which one is the best based on some of the analysis techniques that we are going to consider inshallah during this semester. In this class, in the first meeting, I will go through the main subjects that are going to be covered in this course, and also we are going to talk about the assessments, how it will looks like this semester, and we will start with the second meeting as well, only the first part of the second meeting, if our times allow. And I have also another suggestion which I'm going to consider for the semester. Actually, I will record the class for you before the meetings, 1 or 2 days before the meeting. I will post it on LMS. I will notify you as well through email. You please try to check your LMS regularly. So before the class time, you will find your the class or the session recorded on LMS. Please go through the material, go through the recorded video before we come to the class. So during the class, I will go there for discussion only. So it will be for discussion. I'm not going through the slide again. So before the class, I will record it for you. You take it at home, study it, go through the material, go through the video, and then during the class time, I will go like in a discussion with you. If you have any problem, anything that was not clear. I think that is the best way for running, the summer semester. And for some reason, some of you they might not be able to attend the class on time, so at least you can review the recorded class at your convenience. Okay, so let's start with a brief introduction about this course. In this class, we will describe what this course talk about. Okay. Yes, Abdullah. The class during the class time, it's only for discussion. It might take half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. Maybe 10 minutes if it was clear. So it's just a discussion. And by the way, this is how the classes should be. This is how the classes should be. So I'm going to try it for this semester. And at the end of the semester, I will be grateful to hear from you about this experience, to see whether it was a good experience for all of you or not. So we will talk about the course, why we need it, and what are the jobs in the market that are related to this course. If you master the subjects discussed in this course, what kind of jobs that you can get in the job just because of this course, and what are we going to learn. Okay, we'll talk about the plan and the calendar, about the assessment, how to study the course, some instructions, also the resources for the self-learning. There is a lot of resources for the textbook and interactive online websites, even the Python, for the Python compiler, there is an online Python compiler which you can use if you don't want to install the compiler in your machine. So the ultimate goal of this course is to design algorithms that are correct and efficient. See, here we have 3 keywords: design, correct, efficient. Is it only Abdul Rahman and Masha'il who cannot hear me, or what about the rest? طيب please one of you just reply them, ask them to leave the session and come back again. طيب, so we're going to talk about the design, correct, efficient. These are very important 3 keywords which summarize what we are going to study in this course. So first, we are going to design algorithms. Designing algorithms is actually important for solving problems. That is the main reason for designing algorithms. Usually we design algorithms to solve problems. If there is no problem, there is no algorithms. One of the important example in algorithms is, for example, is the salesman, the traveling salesman problem, the TSP, traveling salesman problem. The story is like this. We have a salesman. He has some product and he wants to sell it out for customers. That the salesman has to go through different cities. City A, B, C, D, E. Now, what is the best path that sales has to follow? Shall the sales go to A, then B, then C, then D? Or shall he go from C to A to B to D? Or B, D, A, C? Or D, C, E, A, and so on? There are plenty of paths that are available for the sales to follow. So which one is the best? You know, the shortest is the best. Shortest is the best. So we have a problem. We have a salesman who is trying to sell his product. At the same time, we need that salesman to go through different destinations, but in efficient and correct way. How it can be correct? If the salesman visited all the cities, then that is a correct. But at the same time, correct is not enough. It must be efficient. Because sometimes if you have a problem, the proposed solution to solve this problem might not be efficient. So your solution is not good. It is a solution, but it's not an efficient solution. How to know if your solution or algorithm is correct? How to know if it is efficient? That is what we are going to study in this course. So we have problems that we need to design algorithms for solving them, but we have to consider 2 important factors while designing algorithms. Algorithm must be correct, so it solves the problem correctly. Second, it must be efficient, so the solution is efficient. So why we need to learn about algorithms? Actually, problems. Again, as I said earlier, we need algorithms for solving problems. Do you think that problems in the world will finish one day? No way, right? There's no way that the problems are going to finish one day. So, if let's say you have a problem and you as a student, I'd like to have some discussion with you guys. Yeah, Abdullah, I say depends. What do you mean by depend? Depends on what? Yeah, give me example. Give me example, Abdullah. Yani give me example on the problems that, may finish. Yeah, we might not have problem from different types, from specific type, because you said some types of problems. What type of problems that you think that they are over, or they will finish with time? Yes, yes, exactly. So that's what I mean. We always have new problems. Yani last time we had different problem in communication. When the internet comes, the internet solve old communication problems, right? But we still have new communication issues. So we always have new problems. Last time nobody cared about the cyber security, the internet security, because we don't have even internet. Now when we have the internet, we make the communication much better, faster, and satisfy all the requirements. But at the same time, new kind of threats, new kind of problems emerge. So we always have new types of problems. So instead of teaching you existing algorithms that are there for solving the problems, we need to teach you how to develop, how to analyze the algorithms. Why? Because we want to help you to solve problems in the future. Okay, so that is the main target that we are looking for when we are teaching such a course. It's a bit complicated course compared to other courses, but it's very core courses for your major. So here we are going to teach you how to develop efficient algorithm instead of just using the existing one. It's very simple for us to teach you the existing one, but we are teaching you nothing. Here we are going to develop your skills in thinking, in critical thinking and problem solving. And by the way, in the future, in the near future, employers will look for these two important skills: problem solving and critical thinking. I think you already heard a few months ago, Google already stopped hiring new employees based on their certificate and degrees. Now they are looking for skills. If you know how to solve problems, if you have this kind of skills, if you have critical thinking, then you are wanted. Okay, now, so what type of structures, because this is actually two parts. This kind of course, this particular course is divided into two parts. It's a data structure and analysis and computability. Okay, so two parts here. In the first part, the structure, we are going to study the queue, stack, linked list, trees, heap, hash table. These are the major data structures that we are going to cover in this course. In terms of the algorithms, so see, these are data structure Abdul Hakim, not about normally. For Google, they believe that some people, I think you're already aware of this as well, some people, even they don't have a high school, they can hack banks, right? And hack very important ministries across the world. They even doesn't have a single certificate. So do you imagine that if that person, if you compare a person who has a master degree or bachelor degree, he might be able to beat that kind of, of people. Why? Because they have skills. They are creative. They have skills. So employers like Google and Facebook and these big companies, they are looking for creative people. No, that is okay. Ethical and unethical. This is a different story. I'm talking about the skills itself. The skills can be always used for good and for bad things. Like even for hackers, as you think, hacker can be also good people. We have hackers, the white hackers. They are actually looking for security issues, for security holes, for threats to protect your organization, not to take advantage of these kind of security threats. So they are going there, they are checking the security of your systems just to protect you. These are also called hackers. So what I mean here is just actually talking, I'm concerned about the skills itself. Yes, okay, Noor. I have two different things, two different stories here. Some people, they have very good skills in some types of work, okay, regardless whether they are using their skills in good thing or bad thing, but they have skills. So if you are employer, if you have a company, I want to hire somebody. The first thing that nowadays, what we are doing, we look at their degrees. We are looking for those students who got graduated from good universities. They have very high GPAs and they got A scores in many courses. This is what we are looking for. Has applied for a job and he has no degree, but he has good skills. He will not be hired. Why? Because of the degree. So we are evaluating people based on their degree, not on skills. And that is in the near future will not be there. In near future, everybody is looking for skills, not for degrees. So that is actually your good chance to start from that point, enhancing and developing your own skills. So, back to our subject here, we have some data structure. This data structure is actually ready one. They are giving you template for solutions. They are not solutions, but they are giving you template for solutions. So if you have, for example, if you have a printer, now everybody's using printer in companies, in our university even, we are using shared printer, right? So if, let's say, 10 users try to send a document to the printer for printing at the same time, what will happen? At the same time, yes, the request from the 10 users, they will be queued inside the buffer, the memory of the printer. Yes. Waiting for the first request to be completed in order to start with the second one. So this is actually the idea, the concept of the queue data structure. There is a queue data structure. So when I say queue, stack, linked list, trees, heap, these are not a solution. These are concepts. Okay, why do I need it? Because later I can use it. If I face a problem that needs queue, then I can use the queue data structure. If I have a problem that needs the concept of stack, then I use the stack linked data structure, and so on. So when I talk about solutions, then at that time I'm talking about algorithms. So if you have a problem that needs sorting, if you have numbers that need to be sorted, so you can use sorting algorithm. If you have a text you are searching for a keyword, then you use a searching algorithm. If you have some patterns and you're looking for matching the pattern with specific key input, then you can use the pattern matching. If you have cities like the traveling salesman problem, then you can present it using graph. That is in terms of solutions. In terms of paradigms, that is the framework. That is how you are going to, what kind of strategies. Yani I want you to imagine the paradigms, the keyword paradigms like strategy. What kind of strategy you are adopting for solving the problem? Is it the divide and conquer, the optimization, greedy, brute force, dynamic, recursion? These are strategies that we are going to cover in this course. After completing the structures and the algorithms, we will move to the analysis and the complexity. And here we are going to talk about the big O notations, the theta notation, omega notation, to analyze the algorithms and to find out which one is the best. We will talk about the sets and the predicate logic, and we'll talk about the computation and its limit. Now, the platform that we are going to use in this course is actually based on Python. So we are going to use Python programming language for all these data structure. I think you have already covered this part as introduction in TM 111, right? طيب. We'll talk, Noor will talk about IDE. We'll talk about the IDE. You can use anything. طيب. طيب okay. Yes, TM 112. Excellent. ممتاز. اوكي نو بروبلم. ما في مشكلة حصة. اوكي ان شاء الله. طيب let's go to the jobs that are actually related to the algorithms. زي ما احنا شايفين في موقع Indeed بيعطيني صورة أو نبذة عن الوظائف اللي ممكن يشتغلها الناس اللي عندهم skills في الالجوريثمز. You can work as MATLAB algorithm developer, in machine learning, in machine intelligent algorithms, in algorithm developer, in FPGA. This is a hardware algorithm developer, and is based on this. In United States, the average salary is 140 USD per year. This is the average salary for this kind of jobs. طيب ماشي يا سمير تمام. هحاول بس يعني الآن احنا هذا يعني نتكلم عن جوبس وهذا أمور واضحة يعني. طيب. And also, as you can see here, the most in-demand skills that can get you hired in US in 2017. هم نتكلم عن السكيلز المهمة جدا اللي من أهم السكيلز اللي بتخليك تحصل على وظائف في أمريكا. Number 9 is algorithm design. So it's one of the important skills in IT that will enable you to get a job in US. And that is only in 2017. طيب, as we said, Python is the programming language that's going to be used in this course. احنا هنستخدم Python في هذا الكورس كلغة برمجة هنعمل فيها الامبلمنتيشن لكل هذه الداتا ستراكشر. Now Python is actually why it is important, because it's general purpose language. What do you mean by general purpose? Ahmed وللجميع. Please, if you have during the discussion while I'm giving you some explanation about subject, make your questions and comment related to what I'm saying. يعني يا أحمد هل الحضور أنا بحكي عن البايثون while learning بايثون سأل الدكتور حضور ضروري؟ الدكتور مع يا دكتوري ما عليه درجات الحضور، لا مش ضروري. طيب بس خلينا نكون فوكس، يعني انت زي اللي بيكون بيحكي شعر وواحد بيحكي له ممكن لو سمحت اطلع او احكي تليفون، ما بزبط. خلينا نخلص وبس يصير في ديسكشن، اذا في عندك ظرف اطلع ما عندي مشكلة. طيب why we learning Python? Python is very important because it is very general purpose language, which means that you can use it to build anything. And it's very good for actually preparing tools and libraries. يعني احنا ما يميز البايثون انها لغة عامة الاستخدام. شو يعني عامة الاستخدام؟ معناها انه انت بتقدر تستخدم البايثون لحتى تبني اي شيء، وتحديدا هي مهمة لاني انا بقدر ابني من خلالها المكتبات والادوات اللي هي tools اللايبريز اللي انت بتستخدمها في برامج اخرى. وهي مهمة في موضوع السوفت وير انجينيرنج في الريوز. يعني الريوز this is very important point for Python. It's very good for the reuse issue in software engineering. So Python is great actually backend web development. It can be used in data analysis, الذكاء الصناعي AI. It can be used scientific computing, and many developers actually they use Python for tools, games, applications, and so many. Now AI is used, Python is used for AI. It's very good for information security and cyber security. Python, no, Python يا عبد الله. Python is even in the coming يعني few years. I think Python will be more popular than Java. We can see now in the following slide. We can see how things are going on compared to Java. You see how now Java is actually يعني one of the most popular, mostly used in all kind of application. But in the last years, starting from 2016, almost 2016, you can see how there's a drop, right? And the red one is the Python, and you can see the Python now is trending and is going to be more and more in the coming 5 years. Yes, you're right, yes. طيب يعني okay, let's focus on the point that has been raised by Khulud. For all programming languages, as a computer science or IT student, what you care about is to learn the logic of the programming. Syntax is almost not a problem for all programmers. Why? Because every time we have a new programming language coming out, so if you have the logic in building solutions and algorithms, you will not face any problem of learning new programming languages. يعني أنا ما عندي مشكلة للناس اللي بيشتغلوا في البرمجة كمبيوتر ساينس، إحنا بنعلمك لغة برمجة أولى، لكن مش راح نقدر، ما في جامعة بتعلم كل لغات البرمجة اللي موجودة. أنا بالنهاية بس بعلمك الكونسبت، بعلمك اللوجيك، كيف تفكر، كيف تبني اللي هي الالجوريثمز. بعد هيك بتصير عملية سينتاكس، فأي لغة بإمكانك تتعلمها لاحقا. عشان هيك أنا بسمع يعني sometimes I hear from some students our university is not teaching us يعني why we still taking Java, why you don't replace it with Python, why you don't replace it with .NET, why you don't يعني everything he expect or the student expect that the universities should teach students all types of programming languages, and that is not true. What we care about is the concept and the logic, and the rest is yours. Based on the same website, if you are good in Python developer, I think you can get a higher salary, which is about 116,000 USD per year, and you can work as a Python developer, SR Python developer, Python, yani so many jobs related to Python development. This is one of the actually good skills that you need to pose in order to get a salary or high salary jobs. يعني من الوظائف المهمة جدا أو المطلوبة. البايثون مطلوبة جدا في كل الوظائف. طيب. This is what we have discussed before. This is actually just trying to show you the parts of each subject. This is the parts of the introduction. We talk about the Python, the basic. We'll talk about the computational thinking. Then we will move to the algorithms. We talk about the conditions and the strategies. Also, in the third part, we talk about sorting, different types of sorting algorithms. So many actually types of sorting algorithms. Then the searching algorithms, also different types. And on the fifth subject, we talk about optimization and dynamic programming. In the sixth subject, we talk about the sets and logic, and also some queries for database. Very, very, very basic one. And then we talk about the computation and the limits of computations. Now for the assessments, we will have 2 assessments for this course during this exceptional semester. So we have the TMA, which will carry 50%, and take-home exam, which will carry another 50%. If you are studying and registering this course, I think you are in one of the 4 tracks that we have in our faculty. So you will be in either web development, computer science, ITC, or computing with business. Okay, Safa, I'm not sure. I think you need to follow up with the course, all the announcements on LMS. I will announce it once we get the clear instructions from the GCC. So till now, I'm not sure actually whether it's going to be like the same. Whether it's going to be like the previous semester or not. So the prerequisite for this course is TM105 and MT131. And actually, for this course, after you cover this course, you will be able to register MT372, TM351, and TM366 based on your track. These are some of the textbooks that are actually helpful for this course. The first one is the data structure and algorithm in Python. Here we have the Python algorithms and the problem solving with algorithms and data structure using Python, and essential algorithm This is a practical approach to computer algorithms. So here are some of the instructions on how to study this course. I will leave it for you to go through the advices. These just general advices, and this is actually not only for this course. You can it's helpful for other courses as well. And here we have some resources for self-learning. Self-learning. So this is our first part, and I would like to move with you to our second part. We'll take a break, 5 minutes please. Now it is in my time 8:45, so 8:50 we will back, okay, until I just complete sharing the screen and opening the file. طيب, we go back again. Just before I proceed, I would like to just remind you that for this course, this is a weekly course. So during the summer, this course will be conducted twice a week. So our class will be every Monday and Wednesday at the same time, from 8 to 10. طيب. For the second part, this is the lecture 2. We should talk about the Python, and then computational thinking and computational problems. And then we'll talk about the complexity analysis using the asymptotic performance and the big O notation using big O notation. And we talk about the analysis of the algorithms. In order to use actually the Python, you can simply use the Learn Python here, the learnpython.org. This is a very good interactive tool. It's online. You can write the Python code there, and if you have problem with some IDEs or you're not able to install the IDE in your machine. And here are some of the useful, very useful actually, resources for interactive tutorials. They are free, open course, so you can use it for self-learning. Also, these books are very helpful. This is actually similar to the books that I have highlighted in the previous part. And we have some videos here and tutorials on Python. You can go through it one by one. Here is just a summary on the most important features, attractive features of Python. They are no compilation or linking. They don't care about declaration. And I think since all of you have already covered this course before, so you should be familiar on the power of Python compared to other courses. Other programming languages. And in terms of the comparison with other programming languages, you can see that compared to Perl and JavaScript and Visual Basic, Python is much better in terms of performance, in terms of design, and supporting enterprises. For the IDE, the one that you use for Python, you can use the IDLE. This is for Windows. Also Emacs with Python, and Eclipse with PyDev. This is also IDE that can be used for writing Python codes. And if you don't want to install any IDE in your machine, you can just simply use this online interactive tool for writing code. Starting with the first question. What is computation? What do you mean by computation? I want you to try to think about the meaning of computation before give me the definition. I'm not looking for formal definition. I want it your own word. What do you think about computation? What do you mean by computation? computation بالعربي اللي هي الحساب صح؟ computation اللي هي الحساب. So what do you mean by computation؟ يعني انت in computer science, what do you mean by computation? When do we perform computation? It can be mathematical calculation, حساب سرعة, Sonia, think I will come to this point. Manipulation, finding results. Okay. Fine. Right. When it comes to computation, okay. When it comes to computation, it is not necessary to be carried out on computer. Computation, as a computation, see, I'm talking about general term, computation. You can do computations on papers. So computation, it is not related to computers. Okay, but we use the computer to think and perform some computations for us, to think and compute for us, but it is not always related to computer. What we care of here is how the computer is going to think for us, how the computer will help us to do the computation. No, manipulation, Nusayba, and I think yes, Nusayba, manipulation, it can be part of the computation, but it's not a computation. It can be part of. So, here we are going to focus on two problems or two terms: the computational thinking and computational problems that are related to computer. So we'll talk about computational thinking, how you think in computational way, and we are going to talk about the problems from the computational way. So computational thinking, computational problem. Janet Wing, she's a professor in America in the Carnegie Mellon University in US. She said, actually in one of the interviews, she said, one can major, okay, like complete the study in computer science and do anything, okay, and do anything. One can major in English or mathematics and go on to a multitude of different careers. One can major in computer science and go on to a career in medicine, law, business, politics, any type of science of engineering and even the art. That is actually summarizing the power of computer science. Why? Because it gives you the power of critical thinking and problem solving. Again, I'm back to this point. So, you can see some successful people who are working in politics, but when you go back to their background, educational background, they are a computer science. يعني احنا بنشوف بعض الناس اللي بيشتغلوا في السياسة، اللي بيشتغلوا في الطب، حتى في الميديسن. Even sometimes in medicine, if you look at their background, they are in computer science. In law, why? They are actually building their skills, they are developing their logical skills. Even in management, in business, you can see the top of the good companies across the world. Look at the top companies across the world, like Google. It's a company, right? Facebook, it's a company. Microsoft, it's a company. The head of these companies, they didn't study management. They study computer. So it's not a matter of what you study. It's a matter of how good you are in logic and problem solving. So if you are good in computer science, you can work in any area. You can get a job in any other areas, not only in computer science, not only as a programmer. You will be successful in different type of sciences. So what do you mean by computational thinking and computational problem? Computational thinking as not merely knowing how to use an algorithm or data structure, but when faced with a problem, to be able to analyze it with the techniques and skills that computer science puts at our disposal. So you might have a problem, you might face a problem that you never faced before. But because you have skills in computer science, you can use these skills from the computer science to solve this problem. So that is how to think. That's computational thinking. How to think, to solve a problem using your skills. But this problem you have not faced it before. Where is the trick here? If the problem you face it before, then you already have the solution. So very easy to apply the solution on the problem. What if you are facing a problem for the first time in your life? You never faced it before. That is the challenge. We are teaching you here, we are teaching you at the university level to make you or to prepare you for this kind of challenges. We cannot cover all types of problems. So we are teaching you how to think when you face a problem. So computational thinking is when you face a problem that you have never faced before, and you use your skills that you have learned in computer science to solve this problem. فهي just in Arabic. Computational thinking هي لما أنا أواجه مشكلة، هاي المشكلة أنا ما واجهتها من قبل، لكن أنا في عندي skills تعلمتها في الكمبيوتر ساينس. هاي السكيلز أنا بستخدمها I use it again لحتى أحل هاي المشكلة. So computational problem is described as a problem that is expressed sufficiently precisely that is possible to attempt to build an algorithm to solve it. يعني computational problem, it's a problem, just a normal problem, but this problem is well explained, well analyzed, so you can solve you can build a problem to solve it. So here it's a solution. It's understanding a problem properly. See, if you have a problem, if you face a problem, and you are not understanding the problem very well, you might prepare and build a solution or an algorithm for this problem, but the solution is not solving the problem. Why? Because you are not understanding the problem very well. So, if you have a problem, computational problem means it's described as a problem, but that problem can be analyzed and understood very well, so you can build an algorithm to solve it. This actually the meaning of the explanation of these two terms. So, computational thinking, see, it's a problem that we have never faced before, right? We have never faced before, and we try to use our skills in computer science to solve it. So if you want to understand what computational thinking means exactly, we need to start from the physical world. We are starting from here. This is the physical world problem. Yani you are facing a problem, a real problem. Now we are facing problem, for example, with the corona, right? Okay, we need to find a solution, otherwise we will sit at home. That's why we come up with the online or distance learning. Yes, we already use it for a long time in Arab Open University, but for some universities, it was the first time for them to use distance learning and e-learning. So here we have a problem from the real world. What do we have to do? First, you have to convert this problem into a mathematical problem or mathematical model. And then after that, I will automate this mathematical model and build a computer algorithm. So here is the solution. Here is the algorithm. In this part is the algorithm. This kind of algorithms will help us to tell us more about the physical world. I will tell you what. In I think 1990 or 1989, before the Gulf War, the United States, before they start the war with Iraq, they have built a model which can tell them more about whether they are going to lose or win the war. So before they go to the war, they do some simulation. Okay, they do some simulation to know whether, and it's used everywhere. So they are doing simulation to know whether they're going to pass or fail this kind of war. So they have the physical world problem. They have problem with the country. What they do, they build a mathematical model. Mathematical model means they have to know how many airplanes, how many soldiers they have in the army, what places they are located, what kind of military equipments they have, helicopters, whatever. So these are models. These are mathematical model by numbers. After that, they will build an algorithm, a simulation to check. Based on these numbers and the mathematical models that we have here, are we going, if we take action A, B, C, are we going to win or lose? So it tells us more about the real world. So if you have a problem, find the mathematical model, build an algorithm to solve it, and it's called automation, and then it's a cycle. It will tell you more about the real world. That's why it's called modeling, اللي هي النمذجة. So here is the computational problem at this side. لا طبعا يا فاطمة، أكيد لا. يعني إحنا النتائج السيميليشن عادة بتكون يعني فيها نسبة خطأ طبعا. فيها نسبة خطأ بناء على الارجيومنتس، بناء على الباراميترز اللي احنا بندخلها. احنا بندخل معطيات، في بعض الأحيان المعطيات بتكون غير دقيقة، فالنتائج بتصبح كلها غير دقيقة. طيب So for the analysis of the algorithm, any type of algorithm is actually designed and developed to solve a problem. احنا بحاجة إلى تصميم وبناء algorithm لحتى نحل مشكلة. So to solve a problem we need input, and the solution of the problem is the output. The solution of the algorithm is the output. So if you want to analyze the algorithm, you should look at this part, okay? The algorithm itself, not the input nor the output. We need to use the input and output to verify the correctness of the algorithm. يعني فلنفرض ان انا طلبت منكم تعملوا لي calculator, develop calculator. انا بستخدم الانبوت لحتى اتحقق من الكالكوليتر. يعني انا مش اكتب 5 زائد 5 يعطيني 15. فانا I'm using الانبوت to verify the correctness and the output also to verify the correctness of the algorithm. هلا after I verify the correctness of the algorithm, I will go to analyze the performance of the algorithm. If I ask you to develop a calculator and I entered 5 plus 5, then I have to wait for 5 minutes to get the result. Do you think that this is an efficient algorithm? To wait just 5 minutes to get the result of 5 plus 5? Yeah, definitely no. That is the important. Remember, we are studying this course to design correct, efficient. طيب يعني في story, I have a story, I read it in one of the books. In one country in Africa, there was a company. The company has 2 locations. The distance between the 2 locations was around, I think, 2 or 3 kilometers. Okay? So the internet speed at that time was very, very low. So the company want to use the internet to transfer the data from location 1 to location 2. So when they send, for example, 1 giga of 500 megabyte, it takes around, for example, 30 minutes. And if they send 1 giga, it will take around 60 minutes. If they send 2 giga, it will take around 90 minutes, and so on. But they have another way of moving data. They said, okay, instead, because the internet is very slow, so if I want to send 1 giga, I have to wait for 60 minutes. So why I don't hire a person? I will copy the data on a flash drive and then give it to him, and he will walk to the other location, and he can reach faster, right? He can reach the other location faster than the internet. So they find that if that person want to transfer 500 megabytes from location A to location B, it will take from him 60 minutes. And if he want to transfer 2 gigabyte using the flash drive, it will again take from him 60 minutes. If he want to transfer 4 gigabyte, it will take from him 60 minutes. Why? Because he's not carrying the data, the real data, as a heavy weight. So it's a virtual data stored in flash drive. So the time that's going to be taken from A to B is the same, regardless the data that is moving. So now the company is stuck. Shall we use the internet, or we should use the person to transfer data? Based on this story, what do you think? What is the best solution? Shall we use the internet, or shall we use the person for transferring the data? And in both cases, please give me your explanation why you decided to choose one of these options. طيب, your answers, okay, your answers are almost close to each other from my side. They are all logical, but that is not the purpose of giving you this or introducing this story for you. The purpose actually is that for the first impression, when I tell you that sending 2 giga, it will take 60 minutes by internet, and it will take, for example, 30 minutes using the person, it might give you indication that the person is much faster. But what you all agree on is that the size of the data makes the decision. So when it comes to small data, sending small data, the internet is much faster. And when you send large or huge amount of data, then the person is much better. Bear in mind that even sending the data using flash drive with a person has some limitations, because the capacity of the flash drive is limited. Yani somebody might say, okay, he can buy 2, 3, 4, 5 flash drive. Still, the capacity is limited. So the point here is that to decide which solution is better is based on the size of the data. Okay, the size of the data that we are considering, and that's called the input size. If I tell you that I'm going to send 10 megabyte, which solution is better? The internet. Type. If I tell you that I'm going to transfer 1 gigabyte, لا, they're both the same, right? No, because 1 gigabyte takes 60 minutes by both sides. They are the same. Okay, if I tell you I want to send 4 gigabyte, the person. No, 1 giga takes 60 minutes. Yeah, so if I want to say 4 gigabytes, then the person become better. So with small data, internet was best choice. With average size data, both of them satisfying. But if huge data, then the person is much better. So here we have different cases. The best case is when the small or the size of the input is very small. The worst case, if we have a huge amount of data, and the average case if you have average size of data. So for every single solution, we have 3 cases to be considered: best case, average case, and worst case. And if you want to analyze the algorithm, you cannot rely on the right. You cannot rely on best case, and it's very hard to find the average case because you need to find apply different techniques in probability, in mathematics, to find what is the average case. But they're very simple to consider the worst case. And even in your life, if you want to take an action, I think you take the action based on the worst case, right? يعني احنا لو انت بتفكر في حياتك تاخذ اي قرار، فانت ما بتقرر بناء على الكيس المثالية، انت بتقرر على أسوأ خيارات. لانه الحالة المثالية ممكن سهل انك يعني توقع منها، يعني it might not success at all. So if you want to decide in your personal life, actually you are deciding based on the worst case. Even when you register for this summer semester, you are actually deciding to register based on the worst case. Yani you are happy because it's online, right? You are happy because it's online. You are happy to register this semester because the assessments, type of assessments, because it's distance online assessments as well. But you were thinking that what happened if suddenly we back again and we have to take our exams in the campus, and you have 16 hours. Yes, yes, and that is I think this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare for most of you. So you should consider this. You should consider this. We might call you for the final exam to be in the campus. What you will do? That is a worst case. I think this kind of examples will stick forever. Okay. Yes. Yes, Hussein, yes. Of course, you should think about, because this is the worst case. I think you have to think about it. Okay, what if they call us? Yeah, you see, she will drop it. Yeah, this is in the worst case. In the worst case, you drop the course. I don't know. I don't know. Might be. Might be. I'm not sure. I will let this worst case stay with you for a longer time. طيب. طيب. So that is actually the meaning of average case, worst case, and best case. And if we want, just remember this please, if we want to decide which algorithm is best, you have to analyze it based on the worst case, not the best case nor the average case. Type. Why somebody might say, okay, I don't think you need to make it complicated. If you have an algorithm, just compute how much time it needs to complete, to run the algorithm, and the faster is the best. That's it. Right? Yani if I give you an algorithm and I ask you to check and give me your opinion about it, you will just run it in your machine, find the time. If it takes less time, you will tell me it's very good algorithm. If it takes long time, then you will tell me this is a bad algorithm. That is actually one of the worst way of analyzing algorithm, based on the speed. We don't analyze and measure the performance of the algorithms based on the speed. Why? For many reasons. One of the reasons is, the complexity, this is what we need, but time is not a complexity. Time, the processing time is not a complexity. The complexity is something else. We'll talk about it. But processing time is not a complexity. It's not considered as type of measurements. It's a measurement actually, but we don't consider it in analysis. Why? Because if I give you algorithm A, I ask you to run it in your machine, and your machine is Core i7 with 16 gigabyte RAM. You might complete, algorithm might finish its task within 3 milliseconds. You will tell me this is a great algorithm. But if you give it for someone else who has, for example, Core i3 and 2 gigabyte of RAM, it might take from him 2 minutes. So he will tell me this is a bad algorithm. So the performance of the algorithm here relies on the hardware that you have in your machine. And that is not true. We need actually, yes, Rawan, yes, you're right. Based on the complexity, not in the performance, the speed. Because the speed and the performance of the algorithm is actually associated with different factors, hardware factors. So what we need in the analysis is to exclude the hardware factors in our analysis, not to consider the hardware. So regardless whether you have Windows, you have Linux, you have 2 gig RAM, you have 16 gig RAM, we should analyze our algorithm away from the hardware factors. I tell you one thing. You might run a program in your machine, check the time. Now, it might take 1 minute. Check it after 5 hours, it might take 1.5 in the same machine. Why? Because you might be running different applications at the same time. They are all consuming your memory and the CPU. So it becomes slower. Restart your machine, run the program again, it might be much faster. Why? Because the memory is still clear and fresh. So we don't consider analyzing and comparing algorithm based on speed. It's only based on complexity. Okay, so I will stop till this point. I think it's enough for today. And inshallah, in the next lecture, we will start from this point on Wednesday, from this slide onward, until we complete the second lecture, and we might even start with the third meeting. So, as I have mentioned before, we will start with the recording starting from next week, not this week, because some of you might not attended the class yet. I don't want you to be confused. Some of the students are still registering the course. لا خلود ما في تطبيق على البايثون. No. This is a different course. So ما في practical Python. No, this is self-study. Python practical sessions are self-study, so you have to do it by yourself. Slide and CLMS in the central LMS. Have you tried to access the central LMS? يس عبد الرحمن، يعني كل اصحابك هاي زملائك كلهم يقولوا حصلناه. فتأكد. لا يا عبد الباسط، المحاضرة المادة هذه مرتين في الأسبوع. المحاضرة هذه مرتين في الأسبوع، كل اثنين وأربعاء من الساعة 8 للعشرة. مرتين، مش نفس المحاضرة. يعني أنا يوم الأربع هنبدأ في محاضرة ثانية جديدة. هاي نقطة. بالنسبة لملاحظة روان. روان بتقول can we change the time. يا روان أنا I will record the lecture. I will record it so you can check my class, my recorded lecture anytime. Only the lecture time will be for discussion. So if you have nothing to discuss, there's no need to attend. Otherwise, you attend and we discuss whatever issues you are facing. Yeah, you can do so, yes. If you don't want to download it, you can log into the website that we have here, and then in this class, in this slide, and then you can write your code online. No attendance until pass. No attendance. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope you get some benefits from this course. Hopefully, we'll have يعني more details, more examples. I'll go through more examples in this course, and I will see you, inshallah, on next Wednesday. Thank you so much for your attendance, and see you. Assalamu alaikum.